Welcome or welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot. It's not a coincidence that you found this reading, that you're here with me now. It never is a coincidence. Sorry for the yawn. I just woke up as usual. I started my charms. Some kind of energy about the moon. I don't know. Illusions also coming through. Weird freaky dream yesterday, and in my dream, I don't know if you've ever had a dream like this where it was like you knew everything. Suddenly everything made total sense in my dream. Like I knew how it all worked, and then I woke up and I could hardly remember my dream. I wish I remembered it. Maybe I will through this reading. And I drew this out because this is the only way I'm probably going to be able to explain part of my dream, the part that's standing out, the part that wants to come up in this video. So like think of this as like time. And so here happens an event happens, but here you are. Okay, this is an event from the past. And then here you are. And this is like spinning. And somehow these events line up at points, right, from each other, and there's some kind of effect where you're experiencing something from the past. So it's feeling like time travel. I guess it could be past or future, or maybe past and future. I don't know. But the reason, sorry for the yawn, the reason it's reminding me of this is because of that dream. And then also, I was thinking about this the other day. I was being reminded or recalling a time when I had a different channel. And at that time, I had done a video and Peabody and Mr. Sherman was coming through. It's that boy and his dog. They're time travelers to save the world or something like that, right? And yeah, anyway, that's how that word ended up in my word box. If you're new here and you don't know what the word box is, this is my word box. Probably like 1,000 words in here. We use them for readings. Why? I don't know. Spirit wants me to bring up my box. Freaks one of my kids out. My daughter, she goes, "Can I pull a word?" Because it was sitting in on the table in the living room, and I was sitting there watching TV, and she's like, "Can I pull a word?" I want to pull a word. I don't know. And I don't care, go ahead and pull a word. And she goes, "What is my mom thinking right now?" And then she digs in there, and then out she pulls the word. It says TV. She totally freaked out. She was like, "What? Oh my god, oh my god." She's like, "I'm psychic." I'm like, "No, you're not psychic." Well, I don't know, maybe she is. Everybody is, like, a little bit, right? But I was like, I designed that box. That's the way it works. It's my box of possibilities. It's not you doing it. It's the universe, right? It's spirit. It's just the way it works. That's why it's no fail. It just works the way it works. I don't know. Maybe you want to make your own word box or something and try it. It's really fun. But I like to think of like the whole world is kind of like your box. And I don't know why we went on that little side rant story there, but you know how we do over here. But anyway, so the Peabody and Mr. Sherman, that's how that word got in that box, those words. It says Peabody and Mr. Sherman. But on my older channel, I did a video, and that was coming up. That's where I came up with the Peabody. Well, I didn't come up with those words myself, but that's why I added it to my box, Peabody and Mr. Sherman, because in that reading there was time travel coming through, and you won't find that reading on this channel because it's an old channel. Okay, so anyway, I was later in the future. I'd done that video later in the future. For some reason, I was on the couch watching that video where I was talking about Peabody and Mr. Sherman. Well, I come to realize that after I'm watching that video, that I was watching the video. The video was actually talking about myself in the future, in that actual moment of me watching the video, which was really, really, really cool. And that's kind of how my dream felt. It was like one of those epiphany moments where I realized, oh my god, excuse me, oh my god, I time traveled, or did I time travel, or is that just the way it works, or I don't know, or I predicted the future, right, in that video, and I happened to be watching it at that. It's reminding me of this. Okay, so maybe you're getting some kind of feeling, I don't know, I want to say like deja vu or some kind of epiphany, but like where something has lined up. Okay, they match like this. See the two dots? So it's reminding me of like where your present moment and your future moment, or a past moment, past and future moment, come together and they sync. Okay, and the reason I came to that conclusion is because in that video that I did, my dog started barking. I'm sorry I haven't pulled cards yet, guys, but I feel like this has something to do with your reading. I don't know what, but it does. You know, it's funny how we go from not having a clue to suddenly like knowing. Maybe that's what this video is about. So in that video, my dog starts barking in the video. He because he used to do my videos upstairs in my dining room, and he would he would always hang around me while I was doing my videos and look out the window and bark at anyone who was walking right out there. And so he was doing that. He started barking, and in the future, when I was sitting down on the couch watching the video, my dog started barking simultaneous. Well, my dog, the same dog, my dog, started barking as in the same exact moment as I was watching the video, and he was barking in his video. But it was so synced, like same bark, everything, and he was barking out the window. It was like at the same moment. So somebody at the same exact moment was out. He noticed somebody out the window again, the same exact moment I'm watching the video. So it was just freaky. And it suddenly hit me like it was making sense too. Like I think some of the things that were happening, and also what I was talking about in the video, were happening that day. And I realized I predicted that. Okay. And I do this a lot. Basically every day. Okay, so I want to say these predictions could be more of inspiration. I don't know, right? Because I do believe in that. I believe in, like, how do you believe in manifestation, right? But we think that these are predictions. They're probably us creating. Okay, anyway, that's what I want to say. That's my rant this morning. But in my dream, I look at patience. It's talking about time. Let go of desperation. Oh, and that's why things come about so easily. Let go of desperation. Broader the world. Available resources expansion. Yeah. Feeling very Abraham Hicks. And I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I feel like that's you doing this right now. I think you're doing something. You're realizing that you're the creator. You're doing it, right? Okay, now Spirit wants me to talk about, because I've said this before, but there's something about somebody who's creating things that are just making them so super duper confused. Super confused. Okay, so you're almost in like it's not like I don't want to say it's like psychosis or anything like that. Okay, but I know the feeling where, and this happens a lot. I want to say it happens a lot. Where people who are very in tune spiritually, sometimes we get lost in this, like, it's because we're so tuned in. And how can you be so tuned in and lost at the same time, right? But you kind of, like, your world becomes very, I want to say, like, magical, mystical, confusing. Okay. sometimes you can get in these areas, or people can get in these areas of being like, because the universe is talking to you. So the more connected you get, the more, I want to say, weird things can get. Okay. So this is like, yeah, somebody getting like, the more curious, magician in the mirror. Yeah. So you can get kind of like off balance, right? Oh, yeah, it's making me think of this man here, like confused, like dementia type energy. I'm seeing here too, this man has an orb. I've noticed that right away. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. It looked like an orb to me, but maybe it's just a light peering through. Maybe bouncing off of this crystal. And he seems to be like kind of from back in time. Maybe you feel very connected. Maybe this has something to do with your connection to the past, okay? Maybe even reincarnation, for somebody who's thinking about that. But this is about creation energy, high flying frequency for sure. Let's get these out here. We have an airplane and a spider. Hi guys, as I'm editing and I said there's a spider, and then I noticed, because I'm editing, holding my phone and watering my pumpkins at the same time, there's, I don't know if you could see this, but the string, now there's a fly, but there's a string. The spider, where did he go? Oh no, I think I caught hold of it on my finger. Oops. But here he is. Oh, now he's crawling back up, if you can see him. Spider always represents, we'll put it over here. Let's see if we can move this forward. We'll put him right here, why not? There's a spider and an airplane. So high flying frequency. Okay, it's reminding me of that. The higher you fly, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up in the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. There's nothing in this. Yeah, I don't know. So, what about it? Spirit, what about it? So this is you expanding. This is you experiencing. This is you creating. That's what this feels like. And maybe you're taking it to some kind of like, I want to say like, somebody could be feeling younger. It's a boy coming through. Why is a little boy coming through? Peabody, Mr. Sherman. Yeah. You see how that happens? You see? And there's two dogs. Here it is, the two dogs. And why are they always together? I feel like somebody here has two dogs, two little dogs, and they always seem together. Maybe this is your sign or confirmation. Maybe you connected to that reading with the two dogs that showed up in the crystal ball. They look more of like white fluffy dogs to me. Companions. I don't know. $7-Eleven. Yeah, this 7-Eleven is making me think of that. Over here they have like these corner stores called 7-Eleven in America. If you're an American, you know what that is. They're like little corner shops, right? Are they gas stations? I don't know if they have gas stations. I think they do. I don't know. But they're like one of those corner stores with the gas stations. But it would say you're open like 7-Eleven. So like maybe you're just very open. You're very, very open. And there is something about needing boundaries, because there is this energy coming through of like the moon. Now we have a cat, moon and a cat. Cats always represent like black cats, magic. So something feels very magical. So there's something about, and maybe it has to do with the sun, maybe some placement, or not the sun, but the moon. That's weird that I said the sun. So maybe it has to do with the sun and the moon. That is kind of weird. Now that I said that, the sun, I think back to that time. That was during a summer, and I was doing a lot of readings. I was very in a lot, like having a lot of dreams, a lot of oh, look at this. This card's flipped over. Okay, we're gonna keep that. But a lot of prophetic dreams, and that were coming true. And I think it was like, that's when I found, because I was having, oh gosh, I feel like this is just a lot when I have to go back and explain. Not that I don't want to explain it to you, it just gets a lot. But see this is my profile picture. This is what's on my profile picture. This is a gift from the universe to me. Actually, during a time when I was going through, where I was very questioning, you know, myself, like, is this for real? Am I really experiencing this? Am I going crazy? And a lot of it had to do with like, I want to say ghosts, because it just seems like silly to use a word of like ghosts, but there was just a lot of things happening, dreams and experiences, contact. Like, I was very open at the time. So maybe you're just very open. I was very curious, open, and it's like suddenly all the gifts and all the things were coming in. I want to say coming online. And I was experiencing them, and I kind of felt like at the time I was going crazy. That's what it felt like. This lizard's making me think of like, this is why am I hearing that? This lizard, and he's right here with this fire energy. It's getting that song. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot 'cause you ain't. You aren't 'cause you're not. Something like that. This is why I'm hot. Huh. So maybe this is why it feels like you're kind of like off balance a little bit in energy. Okay. I think it has to do because we're talking about time and you connecting. So like, it's almost like as if time doesn't exist. And it's reminding me of the time with the video, and then my dog barking this exact same time he was in the video doing the exact same thing, and it was playing out exactly how I basically foretold it would, and it did, and I experienced it. And there were dreams that I was having that I was experiencing later, and also contact. And so yeah, I was feeling very like kind of just like, I don't know, it almost felt like psychic attack, I would say, like a description of that almost, but almost where like I couldn't turn off, or I just didn't know how to turn off what was happening. I think it's because I just became more curious and more curious and more curious, right? I think that's basically how it all works. Is it starts off with you wondering, right? Your focus on it, just like this thinking man, right? So this could be you, this thinking man, understanding, paying attention. Could be a male. We have 2 males. I want to say 3 males. I always thought this figure was a male. Maybe it's just your masculine energy if you are female. Hearing I don't know. Should I even use that word, spirit? I don't know. But that gift that I had, I found that from spirit on the road. So my question to spirit when I went to take a walk, because my brain was just like, I couldn't like even, deal or focus. There was no one teaching me, no one showing me. All I know is like I was experiencing these things, and I was like, am I going crazy, or did I just really experience? And I think, yeah, dreams and contact, right? And so I went on the walk, and to clear my head, because there was like this just overwhelming feeling. So maybe that's what you're feeling. And I had asked Spirit, is this really happening? And one of the experiences was contact, and it was from 2 men who had passed on a long time ago. And they were telling me about an event. It had something to do with like a land grab. But anyway, I think it was because I was very curious. There was a lot of weird smells and stuff. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and there were like smells coming through, I guess, like certain parts of where I live, the state, and it was like a weird smell. And people were wondering if it was going to have something to do with the volcano and all that. Anyway, so I was kind of like reading into that energy, and then these men came through, and I think I was using the tea leaves, but these men came through, and I was also meditating at the time, and there were things coming through that, like, there was no freaking way I could possibly know this, but I did, because they were telling me, and obviously I was connecting with them. When after the reading was done, I was telling, I don't know, I was just so super confused. Everything was so real that I actually thought an event was going to happen here. It didn't. I think they were warning me because it had something to do with the land grab. There were a lot of things talking about land grabs and the news at the time. Yeah, fires and land grabs and all that. Anyway, won't get into the politics of stuff like that. But yeah, so, but there were things I just couldn't know, but knew somehow, right? And I remember going on the walk to clear my head, and I found, asking Spirit, is this really true? And I ended up finding that lantern. But there was also this dog about a dream about 2 dogs. That's funny because the 2 dogs are here. The 2 white dogs, and they had messages for me, and somehow the owner was in my dream, and turns out these 2 dogs are real. I had never seen them before. These 2 white dogs. Anyway, so it's another thing that I prophesied where I would see them. I did see them, and I had brought a lady in my dream who had gray hair. I asked her, who these dogs belong to. In my dream, I don't know. I invited her, and to my basement where I had the dogs. Do you know these 2 white dogs? Anyway, and then whatever, I woke up, and then come to find out later, I see these actual real life, see these dogs in the park with the lady with the gray hair, which I've never seen before. But yeah, so that was kind of part of it. It was just like a summer of craziness, and I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel like maybe this will be helpful to you in some way. Or maybe I'll just seem crazy to you. I don't know. But I found that it's called the Chinese lantern. And they're used to, well, not used to, but they symbolize Chinese lanterns. They would leave lanterns on the doorway to guide their loved ones who've passed on home. So it was a symbol from the universe that, yeah, you were talking to people who passed away. You were talking to people who died. Yeah. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and pull something from here. Spirit, let's go ahead and... Yeah, so enough about me. In all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. Yes. There was. It was a marvelous moment. A moment I'll never forget. I kept it. My gift, and I have it there as a reminder. Sometimes I need to remind myself. Yeah, but anyway, what's up with this lizard energy? I do not have the guidebook to this animal, wild unknown animal spirit deck, so usually just use my intuition. Yeah, this is why I'm hot. So there's something about finding a balanced energy, knowing some things are coming from you, some things you're picking up. You just very in tune. I want to say like you recognize patterns. There's something about a guitar. I was coming through yesterday's reading. Frequency, guitars. I think I was talking about strings. Yeah, so I don't know. Somebody plays musical instruments here, maybe. Something about for money for you. I want to say I'm seeing the money charm. Maybe do it for work with the golden egg. Interesting. The hyena, the spider web. The golden egg was in reverse too. Protection, the oyster. Yeah, and then the shark. The shark is like giving you like fear of the unknown. Okay, like the dark, the deep, what you don't understand. Is there a shark there? Is there not? It's just giving that kind of feeling of like, of what you don't know. I'm gonna put this back in the reverse because it was. But the golden egg, the hyena, light and dark, shadow. A shell, the oyster. This light coming from within. There's something about protection, right? Protection or being kind of like clammed up. And the spider web in reverse. Yeah. This is like feeling like stuck and a loss in like your creative flow. The flow. Okay. Time. Oh, turn back the hands of time. God, that was such a good reading. I'm kicking myself because of my old channel. There were certain readings where they were just so good. But there was one that was coming through. I used to get a lot of grease. I don't know why that from that movie would come through my readings a lot. Probably the people who were following me at the time. But it was talking about maybe, I don't know, I want to say time travel. An experience and taking with you. But I feel like there's definitely this energy of stuck and blocking like your creation, your flow. Something that's like unbalanced, okay? The hyena doesn't give me the greatest feeling, you know? The shark doesn't give me the greatest feeling either. I just keep hearing the hyena laugh, so there's something about, you know, if it were nighttime and you heard the laugh, the hyena laugh, you know, you don't get the greatest feeling. So maybe there's this energy of like, why do the leaves keep coming through? I don't know. It's like watch your step, or I don't know. But whatever this block is, this imbalanced energy is blocking your creation energy. So I don't know, maybe you need to be more open, more just willing to let what needs to come through come through. Yeah, the lizard. Why is the lizard here? I don't know. Maybe this has something to do with you tapping into, like, it's like the lizard sitting in the sun, daydreaming. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is like giving me something that you're good at. You're good at this. Your mind. Okay, we have the thinking man, the focus. This is why you're hot. Okay, this is why you're good at creation and the way you create things so well around you in your world. Okay, you're kind of like me. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I daydreamed a lot as a child. So you kind of get taken into these rabbit holes where, yeah, so maybe actually you haven't been doing enough daydreaming. Maybe. I think maybe that's what you're being asked to do, is to, I wanna soak up the sun, wanna tell everyone to lighten up. Yeah, and there's something like the lizards shed their tail, right? They shed their skin. I've got no one to blame. I think you know. So I think I'm definitely talking to somebody who knows that they create their reality, but you can kind of get lost, or you can kind of get in a funk. This kind of feels like that funk a little bit. Like, what am I doing? Maybe you're not. Maybe it's like you want to be, because we have influence. Your magnetic energy attracts admiration and opportunities. Step into your power. So like, yeah, and there's a sunflower. Okay, so there's something about, and it's funny, I was thinking about that too before I came out here. And we have integrity. Set the standard through calm, principled leadership and sound judgment. Logic and ethics. Maybe you're kind of like stuck between what you're like, I want to say, inspired, attracted to do versus being more logical. I feel like you're magical. There's something about balancing the two. Okay, not good. Getting a little too not getting a little too like, yeah, but here we go. I open the deck here. It says happiness is time of radiant success. It's a sun card. Vitality, renewed energy, be your foolish self. Be your foolish self. And then we have fantasy. Yeah, daydreaming. You're faced with numerous choices, but some may be illusions. It might be. You just have like a very, I want to say, mind. And then we have inequality. The balance of give and take may be off. Is one side doing more than the other? Yeah, so like, I don't know, you're either with daydreaming too much, or you're not daydreaming enough. I want to say, okay, because it's blocking. Maybe it's worries because of this shark and the hyena, but it's not like they're there. It's just kind of like a worry. Okay. Yeah, it's like a stuck feeling. We have the starfish here, and I was seeing the starfish, the other starfish in here. I don't know where it went. It's little things too. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Celebration. A special occasion calls for celebration, bringing joyful energy to home and community. It's the Four of Wands. So it's like balancing. Harmony, right? And abundance. I want to say it feels like enjoying the fruits, enjoying this now experience, and it's going to kind of branch off. And all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous. Yeah, and that's Aristotle. Perseverance. Hold firm in the face of opposition. Boldly defend your beliefs and values. Harvest. Yeah, this is you. Judgment. It's time to take responsibility for past actions. Recognize how they've shaped your present. Exactly. Oh, emptiness. Oh my God. Foolishness, emptiness. Oh, goodness sakes. Okay, I was like, why? So, the period that you're feeling now, what you're feeling now, if you're feeling kind of empty, it's a result of foolishness. It's of you not connecting. You not connecting, or purposeful creation. Okay. Yeah, you neglecting to purposely create. Okay. That's what this is saying. That's why you're blocked. It's time to take responsibility. The results require time and hard work. Prioritize sustainable growth over instant results. Persevere, hold firm in the face of opposition. Boldly defend your beliefs and values. Yeah, you're going to have to tap in. So this is what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying it's go time. Okay, whatever you are feeling is a result of, because like I said, we're creators, right? We're creators. So whatever you did in the past, that's why Spirit's talking about time travel. And the realization, me realizing that you're always creating, no matter how far later in the future it is, you somehow created your moments that you're experiencing right now. Not that, like, okay, and it's like I can always hear that little person, that side of me that's like, whoa there. I didn't create that terrible, nasty, disgusting, hurtful, mean thing that happened to me, right? Could we get very upset about that? But it's like, of course, you wouldn't purposely create yourself to be blocked, right? You wouldn't purposely create that, okay? But here we are. Okay. And I feel like the sooner you realize that you are like in active participation with spirit and the universe, even others, right? And creating your reality, or this now, what we want to call the now moment. You can't believe in some of it and not realize all of it, I want to say, does if that makes sense. But I'm not saying that's your fault. Of course, why would you purposely create certain feelings or of energy, right? But the sooner you realize, the better off you're going to be. Don't kick yourself for things that have been created. It's not that you purposely would create certain things to happen. It's just a focusing on them. And sometimes it's just the fate, right? It's just, that's how it went. Okay? Maybe you're wondering about a person too, because there's a lot of reincarnation energy coming through lately. Being shown the infinity symbol, the number 8, something about a white light. So maybe you're thinking about a person. Okay. Spirit wants you to know you're always creating. You don't know all the inner workings. Okay, but if you're sitting here thinking about you, did I create this for this person? It takes two, is what Spirit's saying. It takes two, me and you. So there's your energy, there's their energy. You're not responsible for other people's energy. Okay. Something about that evil eye too coming through us. Superstitions. It really would all come down to like your beliefs on the said subject, right? Be your thoughts and beliefs on it. Would also be your focus on something. It would, and then if you counter in the other person, if you factor in the other person, that's what it means. That's what I mean. If you factor in the other person, it also depends on their thoughts and feelings and beliefs. Okay. So that's for somebody who's wondering about their effect on others. I feel like the real question here is, what are you going to do now that you know? Because I feel like this is somebody who's coming into realization, and they could feel like they're losing it, and it can all just get so very, like illusionary and confusing, right? It's just, you are faced with numerous choices, but some may be illusions. Yeah. And did you get that word? I want to say code word. Choices. You get to choose. You get to choose what to focus on. Every moment you get to choose, you get to decide. And I want to say, yeah, so you could be feeling kind of blocked because maybe if you think back, did you focus on anything that you would like to experience or create in this moment? Or are you still in some kind of like, I need to create this, I'm not happy, I need to create this? Or fantasy, I'm seeing double, like fantasy twice here, and they're upside down. And I'm hearing that song, I've got no one to blame. I'm gonna soak up the sun, gonna tell everyone to light it up. Damn, we've been on here for a long time. Fairman. I knew he would come out because this is the one that came out. What the heck? Fire trucks. Oh gosh, it's giving me another memory. But he came out when I was talking about those men who had passed on that were coming through my reading, waiting for news, package, or a letter. Perched. Yeah, so something about you need to defend yourself. Beware of greed. So that's for somebody. Somebody's a Pisces. I want to say somebody's a Pisces. So, banquet. Compliments from an admirer. Or bouquet banquet. Scales. Yeah, keep your life in balance. A wish is granted. March. It's giving me spring. Someone was waiting for something to happen in spring. A wish is granted. Beware of greed. A meeting with a stranger could be important. So something, did you agree? Agreement made. It's giving me this world card. I don't know. Did you make plans? Set a time, a plan, something about spring. Compliments. Keep your life in balance. A wish is granted. Expansion. That's funny. It's making me think of like, it's like somebody was waiting for something to happen in spring. Okay. But then, but Spirit's like, it wasn't this spring. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so something like coming through with that. I want to say somebody was very open. This is what it's giving. Somebody very open. Yeah, so I don't know. What about it? Affairs with your family. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. A goal-oriented person. This is about being specific. Let go of fear. It says very lightly on here. I don't know if you can even see it. It says let go of fear. So this is that fear. I don't know. Like there's this energy of like, I don't know. What about the fear? What about it? Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Stepping into a new experience. Romance, celebration, party. We have the shark again. Take care or there will be loss of material wealth. A fear of material wealth. It's like somebody feels a little trapped. Maybe they're not able to see what's like, I want to say it's like you can't see what's up ahead. It's like he had this blade of grass under his foot, and it's almost like he can't see. Almost like you're in a dark room. You can't really see. And you're kind of scared of every little noise, every little thing. Lighthearted, carefree time. So there's something about being lighthearted, and then we have these cherries on the scale here also. What you pour into, what you focus on. So keeping your life in balance. What are you feeding? Are you feeding the fear? Are you feeding yeah, what are you feeding? What are you focusing on? It's giving that man in the mirror. So this is about looking at yourself. Right? Getting balanced, looking at yourself. What do you want to create? This is also about superstitions and luck, wisdom, I want to say, all at the same time. We all have something to do with it. Someone you know is undependable and insincere. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Oh, like someone's trying to force you to do something. Looks like it's uncomfortable. A club. Maybe you're trying to join a club of some sort, a group of some sort. I know it's talking about this club, but it's just coming off that way. Broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. And then we have broken bridge and bridge. How? What? Yeah, it's something about like not... Don't be forceful. Be light. With the feather. Like light as a feather. Right? Because the forceful is like damaging energy. Right? Too much force. Being light is... I want to say more successful. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So you could be working on something like a business, or it could even be a there's something about having fun. A marriage, I want to say, but there's something about having fun. Here's those grapes again. Time to go out and have fun. Yeah. Like lighthearted energy. Find your inspiration again. There's something about, I don't know, if someone makes pottery, maybe garden, beautiful things, inspiring. Something about your home. Something about compliments, yeah, from others. being inspired by others, being light-hearted. But there, like, I don't know, there was some kind of like a letdown with spring. Okay, but I think Spirit's like was showing me that right here with the time, you like somebody predicted something and it came around and it matched the prediction. So it is going to come around. It's just about when it comes around. So it might not be this spring, but during spring it's probably going to happen. I want to say, whenever I have any, if this is something you prophesied or like saw happening for you, or someone saw happening for you and you really connected to it, it is going to happen eventually. Okay, or maybe it did for somebody, but oh yeah, it's reminding me of the Siamese cats of January. I've done this before. A marriage will take place, either romantic or business. The Siamese cat, we have the double dogs. Yeah. The two. It's reminding me of, like, I'm pretty sure that was this channel that where I was doing the reading, and the dog, or the Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp. I was talking, that song was coming through. We are Siamese, if you please. And then later that day, the exact day actually, I want to say that something's going to stop you in your tracks is frozen. It's like, anyway, the Siamese cats. So I was singing that song, I was coming through the reading, and then later that day I went upstairs, we're relaxing, my husband ends up putting, there's the cherries too in the bowl, my husband ends up putting on the movie Lady and the Tramp. I didn't tell him to. He just randomly puts it on. And my husband doesn't usually watch things like that. He usually watches things like Braveheart and The Matrix, or like things like that. Not Lady and the Tramp. But for some reason he put it on and he was watching it. And I come out into the living room and it's that part with the Siamese cats. And I was like, oh my God, I was just talking about that. Those cats. I was singing the song earlier and it came about, right? So is that me predicting it? Was that, it's like me connecting to the possibility, right? And then it came true. But we have this looks like Pinocchio, frozen. Maybe somebody feels like somebody lied, you know, and they feel kind of like stuck. It's like you told me December, but in all reality it's going to be January, but there's something to do with like the snow, or when something freezes. It's like someone giving us someone not really believing in something, that's saying like when hell freezes over or something like that. But it's like, I want to say like somebody feels like somebody lied, or maybe they feel lied to about a date. Okay, because we have January, but he has this Christmas hat on still. I don't know. Or maybe he was told Christmas time, but then January, something happens in January. Okay, I don't know. Something like that coming through. But it is going to come about. I want to say it's how fast it comes about. Why? Why did the Siamese come through? This is for the dog person, for sure. The person who has the two dogs, the two small dogs that keeps tuning into my channel. If you want to say hi, please say hi in the comments. But you're creating something. I want to say it's like when you're light, when you're kind of light as a feather and you're very open, things just kind of like, whatever you focus on, they just kind of come about very easily, faster, in fact, actually. There's those cherries. We're seeing cherries here a lot. I want to say they're on the scale. And I I know they're... Where are they? They're on this... No. Handshake. They were on other things. I'm just trying to find them. Wish... We have grapes. I don't know. Oh, they're on this jug. What you pour into is what's going to come about. Why is it? What are you saying about this, Spirit? The dragon, the handle. Okay, so like maybe a way to get a handle on this is through some kind of artistic energy, I want to say, because we have a lot of pottery here with the guitar. There's something about arts or being artistic. I feel like when you're creating in like an artistic creation mode, you open things up easier for some reason. I think it's because you're just kind of like very relaxed. You're kind of like in this flow. It's feeling like, yeah, the feather. So things come through really, really fast that way. So you might have to just get into some kind of flow state, whatever it is that, you know. But I feel like you've been doing that. You've experienced that flow state because we were definitely picking up on that energy. Like you've been in a very open flow state energy to where maybe even like so many darn things are happening and you're like, why is this even happening? I'm seeing 000. Like a refresh, a start. I don't know, maybe there's a way to be more directive with that energy flow, okay, for yourself, because you are creating, you're doing it, but I feel like somebody's having trouble with the connection of like, how do I do it purposely to create the things that I want to see? Yeah, how do you marry yourself to that energy? Maybe it's romance, maybe it's a business, seeing yourself successful, maybe it's money. How do I marry the energy of that state of creation and yeah, how do I get to celebrate the money in the bank? How do I get to celebrate the job well done, or the match to what I want, the cats, the matchup, the meetup, the marrying of, right? Creation energy, right? It takes two. That's what Spirit's saying with the 2 cats and 2 dogs. Like it takes two, me and you, right? Maybe you're trying to do this with somebody else to create what I want to create with somebody, or yeah, what do you know, 2 humans create? They create a baby. So like you're birthing something, right? So but you're trying to get out of this blocked flow state, and that's what I'm picking up. Okay, but I'm gonna have to let you guys go because this got way too long. And I hope it made sense. Yeah, I hope it made sense. Yeah, so this is you, the inner workings, trying to figure it all out, I guess, right? There's something about protecting yourself. That fear energy, though, I want to say that's kind of like what's blocking. Okay, so I would meditate on it. Ask Spirit to give you a sign, because Spirit always comes through. Yeah. And yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.